Ani, Stephen Salins Nadizhnikas, and this is part 2 of uh, assignment 4 of the Majtada Anishinaabemowin course. And for this part, I had to make up a bunch of flashcards, which I have done. I'll give you an example of one. I've done this all just old school by hand because I'm not very tech savvy. So here's an example of 10 cents. So Medaswe Zumankins. And I've done one on each side. So this side here I have a quarter. Right, so Nishanig. And then here's a example. I've done everything from 1 cent up to $100, or see, Jumankins up to Gados Wabik. Alright, so that's money. And then the next one I did was weather. Ejuebek. So once again I did double-sided again. And we got different weather on each of them. I've done one for each possible thing we can think of. This side here. One of the interesting things I've noticed with the language, which is I like how words tie in together in the language. For example, the word for rain and cloudy and hail and fog all seem to come from a root word of wan, right? Wan for fog. And you got guan quad for cloudy. It's got that wan in it again. Even the word for hail. Kumanwan. Kumnanwan for hail. It's all got that. Even rain. Give me one. It's all got that wan sound in it, that round sound. But the ones I want to concentrate on today are my times. So I've made up a chart here with the clock on it. And it's got all our times from 1 all the way to 12. So we got Ungo and Nisho and So, Niwo, Nono. And when you're doing this, if you want to say o'clock, like how we say it in English, you have to add debodinid to each word. So for example, 5 would be nano debodinid. And the other interesting thing I've noticed also with the language is how when it comes to numbers, depending on what you're counting and what you're talking about, the suffix words, the letters at the end of the word seem to change. For example, the number 5 is nanin, but on the clock we have nano. And then another thing too, when you're talking about half past the hour, you have to add sha'apto to the end. So if you're saying 3:30, it'd be so denadin, or so debadined sha'apto, or sha'apta, sorry. Yeah, so there we go, right up to midnight, be Medaso Shinish Debadinid. And for noon, though, I don't think you have to add, I'm not sure exactly, but if you have to add Debadinid to the end of that, I think just Nakwe, I think gets the point across. You just said Nakwe, they know you're talking noon. Alright, so that's a clock. And then the next thing I have is the times of the day. sorry. Times of the day. So here I've drawn it out. Drawn it out on a medicine wheel just to make things easier, which is kind of the traditional way how time ties in with the directions and everything. So that's why I went with the medicine wheel here. So starting in the east, we have Waseabin, which is dawn, and then Kijip, morning, and then Nakwe, noon. Shikwanakwe is the afternoon. And then as you get to the west, we have Nakshi, which is our evening. And then we have Pingishmo, which is pretty much right, almost the exact word for west, which is Pingishmok. So kind of like, once again, it's how the language blends in so well. And then we have Dibik for night and up to Dibik for midnight. And down at the bottom, I made up a little calendar just to show the days. So if we start right in the middle with today, it's Nangwa. And then as you go back the day of yesterday is Jinagwa. And then the day before yesterday is Wasnaga. Then you go ahead, tomorrow will be Wabang. And then the day after tomorrow will be Waswabang. Oh, so there we go. And it's been fun doing this course so far. I've learned quite a bit. And now we just have our final assignment to get in. Oh, miigwech.